Hey everybody, how's it going? Gotta turn on the audio feed. Boom, boom. How's everybody doing? It's Alexander A. Manzoni with Manzoni in the Morning. How's everybody doing? Gonna start off with a little bit of keys today. When will the morning come? When will our eyes chance to once again see the sun? When will the darkness be gone? Is that light out on the horizon? Is it a new dawn? We continue our long journey onward. You know we can't stay here. It's not clear exactly where the danger is, so watch out. It could be anything, anywhere. It could come for us at any time. Why is that beast so ravenous? It's hungry for our wayward souls. Fall back into the cavernous hole. Once you're down, you'll never be back. So you better strap on a parachute and keep your eyes on all available emergency exits because the beast, it's been released. And I don't know where it dwells. On this planet, not in hell. If you break the spell, you might get away. Live to see another day. And that's what matters. I don't care if you don't know what the fucking facts are. You won't get far without the support and love of your tribe. yours. Don't believe the evil one's lies, even though they be gilded with gold. Truth be told, you must defeat this force at all costs, or else everything you've ever known and loved will be lost, tossed to the wind. With the rest of the extraneous chaff, if we survive, we'll surely be laughing about all of this in our old age. Another page in a tumultuous chapter. Find within you the answer. Thank you very much. That's some keyboard action. Now let's go to some poetry. I know it's been a long time since I've done Manzoni in the morning, but that's only because I've been sick and I've been writing my ass off in my 100-day challenge. And I've been doing that since the beginning of November, writing poetry every day. Oh yeah. This poem I wrote while I was feeling like I was dying. This is called I Spit into His Mouth and Tell Death to Go Fuck Himself. How has Earth changed its gravity? Everything seems heavy. My body, it weighs too much. I drag my feet across the hallway with a bottle of pills in one hand and an open book in the other. Outside, so frozen, it seemeth like the Ice King's wasteland writ large. Unbelievable pain twists its form throughout the day. Once I believe it may be gone, it returns full force and amps up the level in turn. Until I no longer want to be alive like this, I can't eat, converse, or kiss. I'm missing out on life as it is. I'm lashing out at everyone like a mad, crazed tiger abducted from its lambs in India. I thrash like a fish as it is being gutted by a sweater-bound Hemingway look-alike. The kiss of death only feels like it, right? It is merely a peck. But it hath come enough times where I have met these calcified, ossified non-lips. It is always just around the corner. I spit into his mouth and tell death to go fuck himself. Why does everything look and feel and taste so differently? I have been invaded by microscopic outrider raiders led by a Genghis Khan comprised of pseudopods. Bristling flagella, gripping short spears, and compound bows. Am I so much like China that I need to build a great wall? So they can thereafter catapult rotted black plague carcasses into the whole of my internal metropolis. The infection seems as if it is getting worse, par for this nightmarish alligator-infested golf course near West Palm Beach. When the pain heightens, I envision myself elsewhere, anywhere but here. in this fucked up body with its fucked up bipolar brain. Explain why I am being eaten alive or dispatched with a well-placed headshot in these fantasies. I've only said that I am a glutton for punishment. Punishment for what? I've tried to be good, tried to make a lot of big lifestyle changes, but I feel like I still haven't made much of a difference. Because it always seems like I'm back in the same place. With the same pain, playing the same touch-and-go game at doctor offices, wondering, why, God, why dost thou allow us to suffer so much? There comes a point where enough is enough, and people say to me, what do you know about pain? They always have a big story to tell that's supposed to be so overwhelming and guilt-inducing that it will, in their minds, cancel everything out as I realize I am merely a big, stupid, spoiled baby. They are free to say what they will, and I am sort of glad that I have few elderly relatives to affirm such viewpoints. The old Italians used to get their teeth pulled with no anesthetic because they were so poor. Years later, it was because they were cheap and probably liked to think themselves better because of the suffering. My aunts. Suffering a different kind of social currency. It disturbs me to see so many jockeying for who's had it worst, who went through the most pain. There are so many different levels, from inconsequential to hellish, and beyond. I picture Jesus riding a donkey over palm fronds less than a week before his execution. They say none hath ever suffered like he. But what about every other poor bastard the Romans crucified? Spartacus and his assembly of slaves escaped from bondage. And what about those who were fed to the bronze brazen bull, designed to amplify their screams as they were pitilessly roasted from within? Where could we begin to know such a pain? Joan of Arc immolated by sneering English soldiers? Geoffrey Thurange, the executioner, feared he would be damned for this, and he probably was. Raking back coals to expose what was left of her body. The pain relents for a moment. I hold my breath, analyzing every aspect and facet of my being not given to torment. Myself is my own Torquemada. I am my own Spanish Inquisition. I am fishing for the truth with thy soul with a crate of dynamite. When I start to feel right again, will I not know what to do? These past few weeks have been endless. Another monumental test of my corporeal fortitude. Do I hear the clarion call? Yes, it is the trumpeted song of the angels above. Thank you. Finally got that tooth out. It was a friggin' nightmare. Speaking of which, I wrote this poem a couple days before it got pulled. I wonder what I will write about when this nightmare is over. Woke up freezing. Winter is shit. A new chapter and a fucked up new day, and it's only 27 hours until I get this mother of a tooth out of my life forever. Never could that time get here soon enough. Each day hath been a cycle of suffering, a slight lightening, alleviation, followed by abrupt intensification. I spilled my coffee over the side of the new table. I cursed more than I have in this poem so far, and smacked myself repeatedly in the face. The pain is back, not very shocking, except for the tactile sensation thereof. I wonder what I will write about when this nightmare is over, except that it's never really over. Another tooth, another problem will always follow suit soon. It is a shame that when they're all gone, that there will be a whole new slew of pain and problems. How will I solve them? I don't know. All I know is that it's a good thing I'm unable to purchase a gun because I would have blown my head off 10 times over from the physical pain. Why? Why do I have to explain why? Because it would have put an end to this maniacal racked brain. This machine may not be running on its last legs, but I've had it up to here with everything. I have to turn off the network news. Creme 2, KHQ, KXLY. Can't deal with the depressing headlines. Trump's tweets protesting those cunty Covington schools, Catholic school boys. The fucktriots are going to the Super Bowl in the back of Tom Brady's asshole again. I'm sick of eating shit for breakfast. How long do you imagine a poet like this is going to last in this modern mishmash? If I had my choice 22 years ago, there would have been no voice left to speak of. Only a few loose poems about suicide or depression. Print the worst one on my headstone if I had one. People are always drawn to the wrong set of details. They might say I was in love with my best friend 10 years from now. They want everyone's story to mirror their own. They might say I hated women. They say a lot of things that don't fit. They want to fit me into their fucked up, abusive Bukowski narrative. Because all straight white male poets are angry and dangerous to the rest of us. Would my formation have gone differently if I had a safe space when I was growing up? Even at the psychiatrist, my mother would be listening in as I broke down and thought it the place to reveal my terrible secrets. That I wanted to die. That I did drugs. Yeah, weed, and a little gasoline. I don't know why I told the psychiatrist I wanted to run for public office. When I get older, I'm going to run for senator. It was the first thing to come to mind at the time. Good Lord, life's been like the worst mushroom trip there ever was, and I wish it were done. But they tell me I'm not even halfway through. Fuck you, dude. I refuse to allow you to hold my spirit hostage. Well, when I'm in my darkest points, that's what I write about, and if you've got a problem with people writing about fucked up shit, then go fuck yourself. Because you shouldn't even be here in the first place. You know what you signed on when you clicked on this link. At least I hope you did. After I got it pulled, I wrote another poem. I must live life as best I can. I must live life as best I can. Otherwise, why am I even here? So many close calls, hospital suicide attempts, through all of it, I have somehow persisted. Even if I have missed a lot of the accompanying details. You know, I almost quit writing years ago. Too proud to try. Too proud to fail. You could see how well that worked out. If I stop writing, I will in fact drop dead. One way or another, even if I end up paralyzed by writ of misfortune, I will still need that dictaphone. The only way I will stop is if I cannot write, move, and talk. At that point, you might want to think about pulling the plug or wheeling me out on a mountaintop somewhere in a blizzard. Let me live life as best I can. Even if it doesn't look like I am doing everything in my power to overcome these troubles. Everything will probably work out, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. Know that I love you, those who have been good. Should I turn around and backtrack this path, or should I press forward? Good Lord, this journey you have sent me on is tough. Do I have what it takes? I hope so. And I hope that you know what you're doing with that divine hand of providence. Pray that I do not disappoint. Otherwise, what was the point of all this madness and suffering? I keep on trusting with you, even if I no longer trust the religious establishment. What were they thinking recruiting so many vile men to officiate their stately proceedings? Unlike my brother at this moment, I am not quite so disillusioned. I still believe in God to a point and think there is still room for those predisposed towards good to grow. And it was my birthday last week, and wrote a couple poems for that. I'm going to do the first one. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. It is extremely late and am unable to sleep. I cannot believe I have made it this far through everything, every step, every mistake, every triumph, and every nightmare. Sure, the nightmare, the most recent one, has been in full force all the way up to Wednesday. But even so, it was a pretty good year for me. Not so much the rest of the country. Anyway, this is a tribute to this poet's birthday, a nod to the date of my original origin, which seems like eons ago is only 33 years. Writing poetry since 97. 22 years. Seems like an entire short lifetime in itself. May these words make it to the shelves. Somehow, some way. This is a prayer for my birthday. If there is any other way to live, I'd like to pull up a stool and hear it. Can you feel it? Emotional fireworks at work. I act like it's not much. I hate it when people drive you crazy on their birthdays. You will not hear any unreasonable requests or expectations from me. I do not wish for presents. I have what I need and what I want here already. This is the steadiest my life has ever been since what seems like time began. Or did it end again? I don't know where I am headed except forward. Maybe a little step back from time to time. Nobody's perfect. Recollect the bad birthdays of years past. Don't forget their lessons either. It's been a whole nother year, huh? I'm as surprised as some of you who know me may be. Happy birthday to me, Alexander Antonio Manzoni. Perhaps I can finally catch some Z's. May this effort bring release. Go to the next one, birthday morning thoughts. Because there's no time like the present. Birthday morning thoughts, best to harvest them when they are fruitful. Glad I am that I have risen as far as I have. For several years ago, nobody expected anything else from me except to fall to an early grave. Hospitalization, incarceration, rehabilitation, and all points in between. If you were never there yourself, then you might not know what I mean. But I bet if you try real hard, then I bet you can imagine a hint of all the vile grime, crimes, and slimy motherfuckers trying to pull one over on you. Glad I am no longer under pressure to have extravagant parties. Extravagant for us, we knew not of your pale throwbacks to Jay Gatsby. All we knew was what we could see, witness before us. Looking back, I'm the first to admit we were blind, thrashing madly in open water somewhere far away from reality. The chips had to all fall into out of place before I got on a train and left New Jersey State, perhaps forever. I do miss many of you. Many of you are dead as well. Many of you are irrevocably lost in your own little worlds. I may be lost in a world of my own hand manifest, but at least I remember to bring batteries for flashlights. This year I hope to self-publish one of my novels. That'll be a present to myself whenever I finish this long and arduous editing process. So far, it's like 300 or 230 pages of tweaker madness. I hope the people of this city, aside from those Nazis, don't come to hate me and the Spokane story. A lot of the details contained are ugly. And that was central to my initial experience upon my train-bound arrival in September 2014. Every year after that has been better. Closer I am to my lover, and I thought I would never be able to love again. Shows what I knew. Of course, side by side, 2019 me and 2014 me are two different people, very different people. It is good to grow, otherwise the main course of the day shall be stagnation. I remain in motion on the deck chair, sofa, piano bench. My illness keeps me on my toes. Bipolar woes, bipolar glory. Someday I shall hold in my hands a printed copy of The Spokane Story. Unlike the athlete, the artist, the writer, they get better with age. Even if I am not as fast as I was, I am writing and improving my art every day. Day 87 of the 100-Day Challenge. No breaks since October. I'm forming the backbone of a powerful routine. Don't get between me and my writing. Things could get messy, but if you know me, you probably know it already by now. All I wanted for my birthday was a return to health, and by the hand of Providence, that is just what happened. It makes me a happy man. It truly is a happy birthday, diving headlong towards the ultimate truth. And here's the post-birthday poem. It was a great birthday. I kept it private just the way I like it. Feel like I've been run over by an 18-wheeler. A sign that this weekend it did not go wasted. I wouldn't necessarily say that I got wasted, though it was definitely elevated. Do just enough to be happy and stay out of reach of danger? I had a panic attack Friday watching the Versace murder show. It was overwhelming observing this fucked up fuck boy attack an elderly sugar daddy with a bag of cement. Everything was going weird and numb, and I felt like I was leaving my body, so I had to lie down and breathe, and put my viewing of the rest of the series off until another day. It was very disturbing, but that's okay. Sometimes I like it that way. Yes, I know I'm strange, but fruit will be harvested at the end of days. One final bushel of apples and berries? Or will the trees and vines and stalks refuse to bear fruit? They're telling you to save room for what hangeth from the tree of knowledge, if it is not too overly infested with talking devil snakes. It was a great birthday. I kept it private, just the way I like it. The more I post, the more I wish to keep it simple. So many frustrations, uploading to so many platforms. There is always a problem, and once I get started, I cannot stop. Can't get caught up. This internet shit sucks. It's bad enough that I have to type all of this up. Very nice. I've been, like I said, I've been working on my poetry every day. I've been writing what I think is the biggest poem I've ever written. It's called The Redemption of Scooter Reno. And it's the tale of a business guy, Wall Street type, who dies from a heart attack at the bar, and the drunk he met at the bar turns out to be his guardian angel, and they travel through limbo because Scooter is up on charges for basically being an evil piece of shit, and he has to defend himself in court, which involves going to the courthouse, getting the papers, coming up with a defense, and then all the while, the guardian angel is like trying to get Scooter to read books and material on spirituality in an attempt to redeem his soul. It's like I made a character that's such a prick, and then now my challenge is to find some redeeming quality that would save him from hell. And so far, he is having a rough time. Recently, I found out that that I'm booked for Earth Day Spokane, coming April 13th. And I will be doing a 15-minute set there. And it will be nice. I'm writing some special Earth Day poems for Earth Day. We must save the Earth, or else something bad is going to happen. We're not going to be able to live or breathe. Oh. Yep. So I hope everyone's doing well, and I will be back soon. Very soon.